What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Shawnee P, aka Sean Valy, coming at you with another Valley's Corner. Today is Sunday, the March. I don't even know
It's
what the
the
date.
5th.
March the 5th, and we got Chrissy P up in the building, man.
How you doing, everyone?
He's been chilling out, and I kind of just figured we could just do a trial and error type podcast real quick and just see what's going on. Maybe talk some
Yeah.
smack. And so what's going on, Chris? What have you been up to recently, dude? You've been kind of a ghost, to be honest. You're not on social media much.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't see you on social media. I don't think anyone else does. And you're also just, a ghost. Are you living chill these days?
Well, yeah, I think I'm living a little chill. Truth is, I came to a point in my life where I just don't care to explain myself to people. I just realized I just want to do whatever the fuck and not have to worry about it. But on the other side of that coin, no, I still do interact with social media, but I've been more laid back, I've been more in the background with it, but I've been doing good, man. It's been however long since I was last on the podcast.
Yeah, man. For people out there who maybe follow me or just follow, our family and shit, you are kind of one of the more low-key ones, you and Dan.
Is that how that goes?
I think so. It kind of seems like that. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Kelly's low key too. She doesn't do much.
She doesn't do much at this point, but what's the mentality of like keeping it low-key, right?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I just feel like it's a lot to keep up with. The social media is like it's just.
Is it necessary to keep up with, or is it not?
It's not necessary,
Okay.
and I feel like it's a burden on my life, a hindrance more than it is a benefit.
Go ahead.
You feel me on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
This dude.
You're good. I
This
just had to
dude.
take my hoodie off.
I feel like it's more of a burden and a hindrance than it is a benefit. Keeping up with social media.
Yeah.
I mean, like for someone who does other than pushing out content and being a creator, what is the goal of social media? Are you trying to compare yourself to other people?
Well, it depends, right? So if you're a creative, if you're a photographer, right? If you're doing all these things on social media to try to promote a business, then there's that one way, right?
Yeah.
So you've done both though, because you've been on social media in the past for, promoting your photography page and then doing your personal page and making a personal page. But, how could people be confused about why is Chris Patrick, posting here and not posting here, and then he's just a ghost in general? It's just
Right.
does it really matter anyway at that point, or is it just what actually is it?
Well, I mean, truth is, this sounds kind of conceited, but I like to remain ambiguous.
Okay,
I like
that's a big word, right?
I like
there.
it to be up to your interpretation.
Okay.
But then again, I don't even care what other people are thinking anyway. So is that itself ambiguous? Maybe. But again, I guess the whole point is that there's no rhyme or reason. There's no pattern. It's just life. You take life as it comes. Maybe you do something and you want to post it because you had a good time. You know what I mean? I'm not out here trying to keep up with an algorithm. I'm not out here trying to. I mean, I do have a company in photography right now, but I'm not trying to push it out right now.
So you're you're taking your business and you don't even need social media to run your type of business.
Not right at this minute. Maybe
Right.
in the future.
Right.
Right now,
Do you respect people that do run their businesses off of social
of course.
media?
I think it's a grind and I think it's a hustle, and the more power to you, of course. And I think it's a great thing if you can really learn to take advantage of the algorithm and learn how it works and use it to your advantage, of course. But yeah, right now, I want to get more into it. Obviously, as time goes on, I want to improve and do more, of course. But right now, I'm not using social media for my business. It's more word of mouth. And I kind of also like to keep it that way, too, because it's very much archaic. It's very old school, word of mouth. You know what I mean?
And that's been working pretty well for a majority of people for a long time now, because before social media, people didn't have to promote their brand on the internet. They could just get it going without. So, you're kind of rolling old school
Mm-hmm.
in that sense and just doing you in
Well,
general.
let me give you one example of some sort of marketing ploy that works in someone's favor, at least. Apple Computer,
Mhm.
Apple.
Mhm.
They are Apple. They are, what are they? They're prestigious. They're premium products. They're the best of the best. Their shit is top tier, perfectly manufactured and engineered perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They are premium, premium, premium technology, Apple, and that's their reputation. They have the most clever marketing mechanism in the entire world.
Mm.
They don't buy into the bullshit of the internet.
Mhm.
Apple doesn't have a Twitter account. Apple doesn't have a Facebook account. Apple doesn't have anything. They have a YouTube account, but they don't allow their comments to be turned on.
Mm.
They don't ask the permission of the public. They present the public, hey, this is us. This is what we're
This
doing.
is us.
You're either on the fucking roller coaster, you're on the train, or you're not. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
they have a reputation of, we are the innovators to such a degree, because Apple, they've really been taking a shit the last 10 years with innovation, but that's a whole different conversation. They are the people, they are the innovators. They put out what they put out, and then arguably the market adapts. The culture of computing and technology and personal devices adapts to whatever Apple puts out. And in a way, that's how I kind of do my photography. Like, they don't need to have marketing. They don't need to have this big spectacle and all these commercials, because they are Apple. Their reputation precedes them.
Mm.
And so with me, I'm not comparing myself to Apple. I'm not trying to be like fucking whatever, like, oh, this, that, the other, I'm the
Right.
best. But right now in my life, as it sits, I don't feel the need to right now have a strong presence on the internet, strong social media presence with my photography. Um, so yeah, right now I'm taking it word of mouth,
Yeah.
and it is what it is.
So, with that being said, you are in a position in work where you do have an upper hand over other people in terms of just like in that field in general, right? Because like you do some IT stuff and this and that, and so without even trying, you're kind of already like drawn into that field, right? So
Yeah.
so you don't necessarily need to even use social media. So majority of people out here, who are entrepreneur people and they're trying to, make something of themselves. They don't have to be musicians, but maybe like photography or videography and all that kind of stuff. There's people tripping out here like, oh, I'm going to start my business. I'm going to do photography of weddings and
Uh-huh.
all that kind of stuff, right? Like we
Yeah.
see that all the time. Um, are these people out here, do they have their rights to be doing this kind of stuff just without these degrees or anything like that? Like, is everyone equally allowed
Yeah.
to create and do their thing and start their company, without the background knowledge of all that kind of stuff? Like, how do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
Honestly, I think it's great if someone wants to express themselves in any sort of medium as a hobby, and maybe it's something that is therapeutic to them, or it's something that they just genuinely enjoy. If they decide that they want to monetize it and try to make money off of it, more power to them. Why would I have an issue with what someone wants to do with their life?
Mm-hmm.
It's a free country, one, but two, if you came to me and you were like, I really enjoy music, I want to try to make money off of it, I want to try to put it on Apple Music and get royalties and to have passive income, I'd say, dude, that's amazing, congratulations. Like, I'm
Yeah.
happy for you, more power to you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not competitive in any way with anyone. Me and all my friends, we all have our own photography companies. We don't compete with each other, we work with each other, we network. You know what I'm
I like
saying?
that. Yeah.
And I see very much the same kind of thing with you and all your friends in the music industry.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
guys all work with each other. And
Yeah.
that's how it is, because why put up barriers? Why have walls when you can just work with them and network with them? Because what comes out of networking is you all grow a little bit more. I think you just add more bass to my voice?
No, I turned my microphone down a little bit because there was a little bit more like graininess and stuff.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got you.
which made your voice sound a little bit louder. So now
Oh,
we're a little bit more equal.
ayo, ayo. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I just had to turn my shit down. But
I'm
yeah,
just saying, working with someone benefits you, and if more and more and more and more and more people are doing this, yeah, the field, a lot of people are in the field, but like, you know, there's room for everyone. You
yeah.
know what I mean? It's not like there's not room. There's always going to be a market for photography and video work, no matter what.
Hmm.
And the cool thing is, now that there's so many different people doing this kind of shit, it's like, all right, let me challenge myself to develop my own style that may set me apart from everyone else.
Hmm.
And so
So everyone's allowed to be up in the scene. Everyone's doing their thing.
yeah,
Everyone's
dude.
grinding.
I encourage people to do shit, My
Yeah.
best friends do the exact same thing I do, and
Mm.
we all bring each other up. We don't punch each other down.
Yeah, right. Which is like super cool, especially right now because it feels like there's a lot of competition out there on, you know, just in general in whatever department you're in, whether it's photography or in the art department, whether it's photography, music, feels like there's always competition going on. But at the end of the day, everyone's just trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And so you guys are out here, collaborating and working on projects together to gain, off of each other and bounce off of each other in terms of that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
Essentially.
yeah, and so excuse me, big air bubble.
Mm.
So you know so
It's just a happy life, dude.
it's a
Like, it's just, again, like, your therapy is music.
right,
I'm not gonna be over here being like, fuck that guy. He makes music.
right.
There's no need for hate in this life.
So it's peace,
There's
love.
no need for
So
jealousy.
it's peace, love, positivity. At the
Yeah,
end of the
dude.
day.
I mean, on many, 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 many
At
multiple
what?
different levels.
All right. So at what point does it become not peace, love, positivity? Is there ever a case where it becomes like, hey, fuck off, dude, or in business side of things, like with what you're pursuing in terms of like your own business and shit, is it all fair game, or do you ever feel like there is some kind of competition that you have to compete with? Because I feel like in the world of like sports and Hollywood and all that shit, like you are competing to a certain level. So like how does that work?
Let me put it this way to you, Sean. I feel like in this field, in this creative industry, if you feel like you need to be competing and that there's competition, you're already losing the battle.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're already
if you're watching this,
you're
you
already
just heard
losing.
something heavy.
Yeah. So if you're over there competing with people and you feel like you're getting jealous,
That's heavy, man.
and you
That
feel
shit
like
hits.
this is an issue, they're cutting into my market, you already lost the
You
battle.
already lost the fucking bot.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so fucking deep.
Yeah. There's
Like,
no reason for competition.
that's probably the deepest thing I've heard on the podcast in like a few of them.
Yeah. Like, yeah, people are going to have their market, people are going to have their clients, whatever. I'm going to have my clients, and guess what? Right now, I'm not even out here trying to get clients, which is fine because I'm working on myself, but they will come in time, and that's
Yeah.
okay too.
Right. That's some pretty heavy
Yeah.
shit, man. I would have to say that's one of the better quotes I've heard recently.
Yeah.
You don't see it every day because a lot of people are fighting. It's like, all right. It's like, I'm not gonna use an example I just had, but it's like the UFC fight we went to last
Yeah.
night, right?
Mhm.
So like, there's two people fighting, and they're fighting to win, right? And so
Right.
the one guy knocks the other guy out, and he's like, "Fuck you, like fuck off," and the dude's on the ground like bleeding, fucking
Yeah.
dry heaving, like throwing the fuck up,
Mhm.
dead, right? And so you got these two guys, and this guy's on top. The way you just said it is kind of just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you can do you, I can do me.
Yeah.
We're gonna be equal at the end of the day. We're gonna both be grinding for our own fucking situation. And is that just within art, or is that within life in general, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could argue it's within life in general. I mean, of course, there's going to be times where life is competitive no matter
Because
what.
people are material, right?
People are material, and also sometimes things become personal on a person-to-person basis. But if you have a competitive mindset, if you yourself are a competitive individual, you're already losing at life.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on really what you're actually trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
You can be competitive against yourself. Now that's a whole different story. There's nothing wrong with being competitive against you and challenging yourself. That's probably actually the healthiest thing you can do, is always push yourself to do better. But if you're trying for the sake of, I don't know, for the sake of pushing yourself up to pull someone down and to win and be better than this person over here who's trying to do the exact same thing as you are, you're trying to say fuck them, fuck, this, that, the other, like I'm better, you're losing,
Yeah.
because there's no need for that.
So you're just being a negative person,
Yeah.
without realizing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no need for there's room for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to get really existential, we're all here on the same rock,
Mm-hmm.
We're all the same fucking molecules growing on this moist rock floating in a vacuum.
Moist as fuck.
Yeah, we're all gonna die too.
Right.
And so
Sick. We'll be on
everyone-
YouTube though, fuckers.
yeah, everyone has is trying to just live out their own their own human experience.
Right.
So,
Now off topic,
Yeah.
because that was really good.
Yeah.
But off topic, do you think Danny P could ever be on the podcast?
Nah. Nah, Dan can come on.
I was
Dan
thinking,
can come on, but
with-
he's in the competitive mindset.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So he would just contradict
Maybe
a
it
lot of
wasn't-
what I'm preaching here.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't off topic.
But
yes.
but to each their own.
Right.
Right? Dan's allowed to fucking do whatever he wants. And
Yeah.
he's allowed to have whatever opinions he may or may not have. In fact, we're only projecting right now. We're making fictional scenarios, assumptions. But whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Right. This is the whole point of life.
Right. You get to decide on what you want to decide on, whether you want to be more material or whether you want. And I also don't think it's a decision necessarily like off the top, like, oh, I want to be a material person, or I want to be like this. It's kind of just like naturally it works out that way.
Well, it's just all about subconscious conditioning.
And how's that work?
And your upbringing.
So it's all about upbringing at that point?
Upbringing and trauma, or the lack thereof, and life experiences.
Well, for people who totally disagree with that, and they're like, it's like that shit doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter about that, it matters about now. And like, for example, like, and I won't say names, but
Okay.
it would be like an example of weed smoking, like, hey, you can smoke weed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I say, I'm mentally fucked up, I have anxiety, I can't smoke weed.
Okay.
And then the person's like, well, you can, it's just your mindset, right? And it's just like, is it just your mindset, or is it the deeper rooted cause, the upbringing, the this and that makes you have that anxiety? And that it's not surface level anxiety, it's like a deeper rooted situation of why you can't pursue something that everyone else is pursuing.
Well, are you talking about like in relation to like mental health and how some people don't think it's like an actual
I'm talking about
thing?
I'm talking, well, not necessarily a serious, like people not thinking it's a serious thing, but I'm talking about how
Or people not acknowledging it.
And whether it's physical or mental, just everyone obviously is living their own life, and they're all feeling their own feelings and feeling their own bodies. But then you have people that are just like, no, dude, you're good, right? You're fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with you, bro. Like, just chill, right? And it's just like, they're like, what is that? You know what I mean?
It's ignorance.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just people don't really understand.
And they can't understand.
And they can't
either.
understand because everyone has a different like situation in life, and everyone has a different upbringing, and everyone has a different background, and they were all brought to this point in time differently.
Mm-hmm.
But my best example to counter that thought, that ignorant thought, would be to say, hey, suppose you were just in a car accident last week. I didn't see your car accident. I don't know you were in a car accident. But you have a broken foot and you can't walk. But I don't know that. And I say, nah, dude, we're running a marathon tomorrow. And you say, no, dude, my foot's fucked up. And I say, nah, come on, it's all in your head. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's not fucked up. You're fine. You know, you're running that marathon. You're capable of running that marathon. Everyone runs this marathon. It's the thing everyone does. And you say, no, I can't. Like, I physically cannot do it. My foot is fucking broken because of this event that happened to me in the past.
Yeah.
That's the exact same thing.
That was it.
That was it.
Dude, that is so fucked up. That was the best. I couldn't think of I couldn't think of a better example than that. Like, you literally just hit it on the ball.
I mean,
and just shut everyone the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's so fucking true.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Because
man.
of the situation that I was put through right in the past, it directly affected the person I am today, right now.
Yes.
It creates a handicap for me, for lack of a better word, and it prevents me from being able to do something that most people can do.
Yeah.
Or act how most people can act.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's beautiful, man.
Really?
It's a beautiful speech.
I just made that up.
Yeah. And so, you know, we're coming up on the cutoff.
Are we really?
Yeah. That's 30 minutes.
All right, cut it off real quick.
So you want to keep going, flowing?
I'm not done the beer yet.
All right. You heard it here first, because I'll do a 30-minute potty. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude, let's fucking do this. Hurry.
right,
I gotta
all right.
do wash.
Punto. All right, so we're back
So
on.
you cut it off?
Yeah,
I don't
we're
know,
good.
man. How's it been going? Like, I've been feeling a little conceited in this podcast. I've been thinking...
Well, because the whole podcast was kind of meant to warm you up a little bit, because you haven't been on in a while.
Yeah. But I don't want people to think, like, oh, this kid's an asshole. He's too sure,
well, dude,
too sure of
Chris,
himself.
the truth
but...
is, like, you have been kind of ghost for years now, man.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
truthfully,
I like that.
I mean,
I like that.
I mean, listen, you go out here and there. You went out, you know, you've seen a few people from the past.
Yeah,
and blah blah
yeah,
blah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not saying anyone like is watching this. Who the fuck knows who's watching the podcast?
Yeah.
But, you know, you have been doing you, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and from my point of view, you know, it's almost been inspiring on my end.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Really?
is that fucked up?
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Wow, man.
And
Cool.
yeah, well, because you don't ever realize that you might be, without knowing, pushing someone else forward.
No
right?
way. Really?
Yeah. So even
I
with
can see that.
yeah, because even with like our buddies that we talk to on the daily, like shout
Uh-huh.
out Josh, you
Yep.
know,
Mm-hmm. Shout out Josh.
people like them, you know, we're all pushing each other forward all the time, and we're always, you
Right.
know, we might not see each other as often, but me and you, we see each other all the time. And
Right.
with your progression over the past year, it's been pretty wild.
No way.
Yeah, because you know, you've been through your ups and downs. I've been through my ups and downs, and
Right.
And so like, what has been a bigger what has actually been the motivation in the past like year since you know
Yeah.
bringing you out of like not teenage years but young
Yeah.
adult years into like that mid 25
Mhm.
you know, that mid 20s, like what was the bring out moment that like
Well, I had myself a little bit of a quarter
life?
quarter life crisis,
Yeah.
and I started having some FOMO, and I started.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I started realizing like my life is passing me by, and I haven't achieved A, I haven't done B, I've never experienced C. What's the deal?
Mhm.
Is this going to be an ongoing theme in my
'Cause
life?
did you
Am I going to
see-
just let everything pass me
Did
by?
you see other people experiencing that and you were kind of like, what the fuck's going good?
Yes and no. You see, this is the whole negative side of again, what we talked about in the beginning,
Social
social
media.
media, comparing yourself to other people. You should never, ever, ever compare yourself to other people, because you as an individual are on your own path in life. And, your path could start now, it could start in 4 years from now, it could start in 10 years from now. But everyone, no matter what, it could start 10 years ago. Everyone, no matter what, is on their own path in life, and that's okay. That's completely normal. For me, though, I had like an unhealthy catalyst, like a spark, like a under my ass lit, like what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna sit around and do this or do nothing or whatever, or are you gonna like start fucking making moves here? And it threw me into an existential like period in my life where I was just like having all these different thoughts, all this shit. I fell into a depressive spell, and um, I did a lot of research and I had a lot of help from friends and family and all that. But essentially, the path that I ended up taking was the one of changing your metric of thinking. You need to pull yourself out of a victim mentality.
And that's what I have sometimes too. Is me telling myself like,
yeah,
you've told me it in the past.
Yeah. So once I started lifting myself out of
How do you go?
my
How do you do
mindset.
that? First off, you start lifting yourself out. How do you do that though?
Well, you just
Like,
kind
how
of,
do you change your mind when your mind's already set on one thing?
because you got to realize that nothing is set in stone. 2, neuroplasticity. It's the ability for your mind to evolve and change no matter what. Just by creating new
So
neural
you can just
pathways in your brain.
morph it to happen.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done. I mean, what I started doing was I stopped looking at myself as, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I stopped victimizing myself with everything. Like, oh, my life sucks. Oh, I'm never going to do this.
Well, what did it take you to get to that point? Like, what was the turning
I needed
point?
a third-party perspective to come in and slap me in the fucking face and tell me exactly what I'm doing wrong.
Dude, you're fucking
and
up.
offer me a different perspective.
Mhm.
His name is Josh.
Shout out Josh.
Yeah. So, essentially...
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Josh.
Shout out Josh, for real. But, like, you don't realize where you are in your head, where you're living, where your thoughts reside, where your basis of reality is, how you perceive the world. You don't realize any of that and how it's different from other people until you pull yourself out of it and you look down on it. You know what I mean?
Is that easy or is that hard to do?
It's hard for everyone. It's super hard, but if you can just like conduct a thought experiment where you pretend you're not you and you kind of just like look at a situation and analyze it and try to think of all different angles of it, you are essentially doing exactly that.
Yeah.
You are pulling yourself out above it and you're looking down on it.
When's the best time of day to do this kind of stuff? I mean, morning, night, like
every time while you're working. Like,
so it's just
about being more the wiser.
Is it about being more present within yourself at that point?
Yes.
Like you have to be present.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, you can ruminate in your head forever, and nothing will ever, ever stop that if there's no cutoff or interaction from the outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you as a person can end up getting caught in a fucking spell, and you're just circling around and around and around and around and around forever. You know what I mean?
Round and around.
Yeah. But
Keeps going.
But if you have some sort of intervention, someone intervenes, someone offers you a perspective, you can take that and be like, whoa, I never saw it from that point of view.
Yeah.
And that's where you then can know that I can pull myself out of this thought train and I can put myself here and I can look down on it now. It's like an Interstellar when he's in the 4th dimension.
Yeah.
It's exactly that, but with your thoughts.
So can I ask you something?
Yeah, man.
All right. So in the movie with fucking... What's his fucking name? Where he's on the island with the fucking...
Tom Hanks.
So in that scenario, where you do not have anyone...
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the third party coming in to tell you that everything's going to be okay?
It's God.
So is it like within yourself? Is it like a trust thing? Like if you didn't have, say, Josh, if you
Mhm.
didn't have an outside party,
Mhm.
would you figure it out within yourself?
It depends, really, man. I mean, who
You
am
just
I to
can't,
say
you couldn't tell.
who am I to say who can figure out what in their own life? You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like,
Very deep. Yeah.
I mean, everyone's journey is different, as you know,
Yeah.
but it's all about when you want to choose to wake up
Yeah.
and when you want to choose to be enlightened.
Yeah.
And
You have to decide that shit.
in my mind, emotionally, and on very many different levels, I in a way hit rock bottom, and it was like either change or fucking die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
It was
Yeah.
do or die.
Yeah.
You know, and fortunately enough for me in my situation, I had people who wanted to help lift me up, which was amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just started over and I tried to rebuild myself
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that I'm more superior now than I was a year ago or anything like that, because I'm just a person and we're all just people. But it was an opportunity for me to um, and lift myself up again and look down on very many different facets of my life and say, okay, where did I go wrong? How was I acting before? Where can I improve?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the whole goal and the whole point of life is to try to be the best possible version of yourself that you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's being I want to be better at music, or I want to be a good person, or I want to promote positivity, or I want to help people. You know, like we only have one life. So like why would you want to run through this life being a hater? Why would you want to be miserable? Why would you want to be sad? Why would you want to be hurt? Why would you want to hurt people? You know what I mean?
Mm.
When you can very easily just be the complete exact opposite, and with taking no more effort. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's fucking deep, dude. You know,
Yeah, man.
like it's
It's literally the example of changing your metric of
it's
thinking.
almost the easiest way to think,
Yeah, man.
right? Like think of the easiest route out,
Yeah.
and the easiest route out is to just think the positive
Yeah.
thoughts.
Like if I'm stuck in a room, like here's an imaginary scenario thought experiment. If I'm in a room and there's someone who
you're in the room now, could this be the room?
I don't know, maybe. But if I'm in a room with someone and I don't know who they are and I don't know their life story, I only know who I see presented in front of me.
Mm.
Am I going to come off acting like an asshole to them right to their face out of nowhere?
Mm.
Or am I going to just try to be friendly to them and try to help them? Suppose they're in a crisis. Suppose they, you know, like
You
what,
don't know.
like what if
Yeah.
like the thought experiment? I'm in this room and someone's crying.
This all goes back to your class you're taking.
What, the acting class?
Yeah. That's where you're getting all this information.
Nah, dude. This is just shit I've just like
Grew-
subconsciously developed
to know.
over the last like year and a half.
This
but,
dude's smart over here.
nah,
though.
dude. It's just all about being kind to someone.
But yeah.
I
So
mean,
you're in the,
I work in. I don't even want to say I work in education, but I work in education,
so
kind
you're-
of. And the whole point is to meet someone where they are, kind of,
Yeah.
and then help guide them
yeah
to
yeah,
a solution.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
So if you don't know this person, but if they seem to be having a hard time in their life, would you go up to them and just put them down and say, "What are you, a fucking idiot?" Or would you go up to them and say, "Hey,
I wouldn't.
hey,
Yeah.
what's going on?" You know.
Yeah.
You
for sure.
know, one thing I learned in my life, and I tell this to everyone I possibly can. This applies to anyone who may have some sort of issue or something going on in their life.
Mm.
The best thing you could offer to someone in some sort of crisis or someone going through some sort of issue or whatever it may be, the best thing you can offer to that person is your time and attention.
Mm.
You know, some people who suffer with mental health issues or depression or whatever it is feel so alone and isolated in their own mind. They feel like no one can connect to them. They feel like no one can relate to their pain or their issues, and that no one can hear them out. And then, unfortunately, a lot of people fucking take their life because of that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And all it takes is one person, with one open-minded person, to be concise and level, like on their page, like level with them. And all it takes is one person to give them their mind, their time, and their attention. Literally.
That's it.
That's it. someone's having an issue, sit with them. Hour, 2 hours, doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah.
And you give them your attention.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're having an issue? Tell me about it. I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Tell me all about your problems.
Because it just takes one person to
Yeah.
give them their attention to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Wow.
And not
That's
even
fucked
stupid motherfucking asshole therapists.
That was good.
I think therapy is a great thing, but I've had a shitty experience
Sure,
with it.
sure.
You really got to find your right person.
You
But
do. You have to shop
I think
around.
people who like therapists, but people who are therapists who don't really care as much about their job or what they do, who feel disingenuine and non-sincere, who just want the money. They don't care. I think that's like the most terrible thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
Is to be sitting there for 50 minutes, some fucking idiot or dumbass is just staring at you, and then they just say, "Okay, your time's up," and it's like, what did that person offer me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a whole entirely different conversation based off of fucking my own bullshit experience. But what
Right.
I'm trying to tell you is, you can be more than just a nameless doctor person sitting on the other side of a room who has to judge you.
Sure.
You can be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can be someone who cares.
Yeah.
You can be someone who offers.
Even if it's for a minute or two.
Yes, you can be someone who offers their time and attention.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
It's fucking deep, man.
Yeah, man. So how we got into this, I forget, but essentially it's all about changing your metric of thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why go through life depressed? Let me correct that, because that's a whole different thing. Why go through your life victimizing yourself,
That's what it was. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And saying
Victim
my life
mentality.
sucks and this and that, and you're always glass half empty and this, that, the other, when you can just challenge yourself, challenge those thoughts, and say, fuck, it's fucked right now, but you know what? That's God challenging me. I am going through a time of trouble, but there's another side to this, and I will get out of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's about changing your metric of thinking, because once you adopt that as fact in your life, like once you truly believe that deep in your heart, and it's not just something that someone just randomly tells you, like how I'm just telling you on this podcast, once you take that in and digest it and it becomes a part of your life, it changes your entire life.
Yeah.
Literally.
But you have to believe it for it
You
to
have
change.
to 100% believe it, and you will never, ever, ever believe it if you constantly still are a victim and have a victim mentality.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking deep, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. But so once you're on the other side of that fence, granted, there are people who actually have real mental issues, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, you can just get over your mental problems by thinking positive. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there are people with
break that wall.
diagnosable anxiety or obsessive compulsive disorders or schizophrenia. Like, people have so many issues in this world, you know, and it's sad and unfortunate. But you know what doesn't help people with all those issues? People who are mean to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah. So
It's fucked up. Dude.
I know, man. It's fucked up. So, so all I'm saying is that you just gotta change your metric of thinking, as I've said it 12 times already,
Yeah.
and think about what that actually means, and try to do a thought experiment and give yourself examples of something that happened to you in the past and how you could have reacted to it differently. Or maybe if you did react to something bad happening to you in a good way and you handled it the right way, think about how it could have been, happening the wrong way and how it could have gone in a different direction. All I'm saying is that by applying these principles to your life, it helps makes things less challenging and anxiety inducing and depressing,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think with everything being said, you just spoke a lot of truth there.
I guess.
I mean, you did. You just spit out some shit, man. And, something that might have never came out of you. Because in the end, or in the beginning, that's kind of how you were at one point, right?
You know what I think? Like, we as humans, we're all a hive mind, right? A hive mind is I don't even have an example from science fiction, but think of like a million people, and they all operate in one way,
Mm.
right?
It's like Dr. Seuss
Well,
out
here's an
there.
actual example of a hive mind. A hive mind is this: every Tesla has a computer in it, right?
Mm.
And they all connect to the same server, and they all send information up to this server, right? So when the cars are driving on roads, the sensors and the cameras are all taking pictures of the roads, and oh, there's a curve in this road. So when it's driving around the road, it's sending that information back up into the network,
Is
right?
that for when another car drives by, it knows already?
Yes. That is what a hive mind is. A hive mind is, oh, this Tesla just drove around this turn at this speed and it navigated it perfectly. So now it's going to send that information up into the cloud and it's going to download all of that information onto every other Tesla in the fucking world.
Okay.
That's a hive mind, right? It's multiple, many things communicating all with the same thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to tell you is people in a way act like that too, right? So if there's more, like if you grow up in a household where your parents are all depressed and anxious and yelling, guess what? You're going to grow up and be all depressed
It's a
and
hive
anxious
mind.
and yelling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's something like it's you take influence to your surroundings,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So if you can notice that as a pattern in your life and be like, wow, I've kind of
But they
been
don't notice that until
and
they're older, though.
I know, unfortunately, which is sad, but
Yeah.
like you can still change in a way. Like if you notice and you're like, wow, I've been in like a fucked up situation, I'm gonna choose to change and break the mold and break the pattern and do better. That, without you even realizing it, directly immediately affects the people around you in a good way. Just like how negative energy directly immediately affects the people around you
In that
in a
moment.
bad way,
Yeah.
positive energy directly immediately affects everyone around you in a good way. It's that simple, you know?
Yeah.
Is that fucking simple? No, but
No, it's right off the rip.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Like,
you know what I'm
fun.
saying? Like, so if you go around promoting positivity, it doesn't take much to be a nice person.
Sure.
Cup is always half full. You're positive. Hey, let's sit down, let's figure this out together.
Shorty didn't like that one.
I don't care, man.
It don't matter.
It don't
about that.
matter.
Right. Right.
If you walk around and you are a problem solver and not a freaking problem starter, what's the terminology?
A fucking reject.
All I know is, like, if you look for solutions and not look for problems, that's already half the battle right there. That's your metric of thinking.
Yeah.
Someone like people we know
Yeah.
look for problems in the world. Us, me at least, I look for a solution.
Solution. But we see that bouncing off of other people too, though. At this point, from our lives, we see other people starting to become that. Right? We see this, that, the other, the third.
No, dude, I don't know what you're getting at, but I'm just saying.
Shawnee P, aka Sean Val.
I'm just saying that if you just are positive, and I'm not over here preaching like unrealistic bullshit, like, oh, be happy. I'm just saying, like, if you at least offer a positive, if you at least, wait,
Shit. This dude over here.
I said,
Go ahead.
I said, yo, hear me out, yo,
At the end, we'll do
Yo.
a song too.
hey, yo, hear me out. If you at least
You got
can-
any more than fucking clarity?
not at all, dude, but they're good.
Yeah, they were.
If you can
good.
at least offer some sort of enlightenment or positivity or cup half fucking full, it
Yeah.
gives just a little bit of hope to someone who would otherwise be lacking it and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Right? Let me just give one last example and then maybe we can
Yes,
change
sir.
the
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
I learned, again, shout out Josh, to always, 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 when you're out in the world, out in public, when you meet people or you interact with people, toss them a compliment. It doesn't hurt to toss someone a compliment. It's so healthy and it's so good on so many different levels. For one, it breaks the social fourth wall. You're not just interacting with someone like it's a fucking NPC and they're just doing their job and you're just a customer. Like, let's just say, for example, you're at Starbucks ordering a coffee, right? And they're just doing their job on their computer, punching it in and making your coffee, and you're just giving them your money. If you can break that communicative dynamic, if you can break that barrier and just be a human, be a person, it it's like amazing on so many different levels. For one, it makes people feel more comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're humanizing with the person.
For two, it makes you stand out. It makes you more interesting as a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just and for three, this is the best part about it. You never know what kind of bullshit someone may be going through in their life.
Mm-hmm.
This goes back to the whole why be pissed off, why be mad when you can just be like positive.
Mm-hmm.
Like if, for example, Karens at like anywhere when fucking old women who are Karens to do their bullshit. If you're at like a McDonald's drive-through window and you ordered a medium fry and they give you a small fry and you're going to be a Karen and you're going to go complain and bitch them out and this, that, the other. These kids who may be like working at this McDonald's that we're just randomly talking about, this fictional hypothetical McDonald's, they're just people trying to do their job, right?
Yeah.
You don't know if like this person that is dealing with you, you don't know their life. You don't know their hardships. You don't know what's going on. For all you know, this person's mom might have just died of cancer. For all you know, this person has been depressed for 3 years and they're thinking about going home and killing themselves tonight. You really don't fucking know what is going through someone's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the power to punch people down. Like, you have the power to be an asshole to a person, and without even realizing it, you'll never see them ever again, probably, because it's just a one-time in passing thing.
Yeah.
But you have the power to influence people in such a negative way
That
someone could go kill themselves.
They'll call it out. They'll be done.
You just never know what people are going through, no matter what.
Yeah.
So why, when you're gambling that, why would you choose hate and negativity when you can just choose happiness and positivity?
Yeah. Right.
So again, something that I started doing many months ago, which my friend Josh has always been doing, really, and he told me about it, and I like implemented it into my life, is when I'm out in public, I try to make small talk with people. I try to compliment people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just like dumb stuff. Like, oh, I like your Apple Watch. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. What model is that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh, I think your braids are cool in your hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
you
like,
don't know what they're going through.
you don't know what people are going through. But it doesn't hurt to just be a nice person.
Right.
It doesn't take much to be a nice person.
It goes back to the hoodie, man. It doesn't take much to be a nice person. And, you know, with that being said, I think that's a good, good cap.
Is that it? We're capping it?
I think it's a good cap on the conversation. We could go another half hour, but
Nah, it's all right.
I think you got some good words out right now.
We're gonna actually do like a better, like, longer podcast in time.
Yeah, no.
In time.
Yeah, that's no problem. Probably even next weekend. But
Yeah.
I think you put out a good word there, and if this ever is out or whatever, I think people will get a good, a good message from it.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, what I hope people can take away from, if you listen to this or whatever, one, it doesn't take much to be a nice person at all. Be kind to people. Two, you never know who you can help. Ever. Three, God, what were all the cool things, the important things we hit on? I'm drawing a fat blank.
Dude, don't ask me.
Right?
I mean, I'm just recording.
Just try to, if you're someone who finds themselves in a victim mentality, like life sucks, just try to just work on your metric of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
If you can change your metric of thinking, you can change your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it is.
Mm.
And nothing's ever that deep. Oh, and the most important thing you can offer someone ever in crisis is your time and attention.
Boom.
And that's all I have to say.
Christopher Patrick coming out with some hard facts and hard lines tonight.
Yeah.
We'll catch up. We'll catch up on the next one. If you guys did like what you heard tonight, this was a little bit quicker than usual, about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, which is a tight cap. But if you do like what you heard, You know, give a comment, ask some questions too. You can ask some questions to Chris. You can ask some questions in general. And we'll get back to them on the next one, man.
That kid's a fucking asshole.
Or they might be like, fuck, dude, Chris is lighting up the room. You
but
never
then
know.
again, you know,
You never know.
you never know, and also other people's opinions don't matter.
Right.
So remember that.
But people's questions do matter. So
Yeah.
keep asking them.
Yeah, that's a great.
Right?
That's right.
Cheers. All right. Signing out. Good podcast. We out.